Alright, so $700 is one of the most famous budgets for a gaming PC, and I feel like this is the best $700 1440p gaming PC. So check out the links in the description, press on that like button, and without wasting any further ado, let's get to the benchmarks. First up, we got the infamous Call of Duty Warzone 3, and you'll find yourself having around 200 FPS if you decided to play at 1080p low settings. Next up, we got Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 2, and you'll find yourself having over 240 FPS, but we don't have exact benchmarks of that. Valorant is also a CPU intensive game, and you'll find yourself easily getting over 360 frames per second, while Hogwarts Legacy at 1440p high settings you'll have 60 FPS experience, but at Ultra you'll find yourself hovering around 45. Last game being the demanding Cyberpunk 2077, and you have to play it at 1080p actually Ultra settings, then you'll get 60 FPS. So the CPU, we're looking at the infamous AMD Ryzen 5 7600. I'm also routing towards the cheaper Ryzen 5 7500F because we're looking at around, I believe, like $60 to $70 difference between both CPUs, and they perform pretty much the same in terms of performance. Only 7500F doesn't have that integrated GPU that you don't need for gaming or even content creation, by the way. Yeah, we're looking at a 6-core 12-threaded CPU that has really strong performance, and it packs a huge punch when it comes to what it can deliver, and it's got the upgrade path to a 7800X3D or the next gen AM5 CPUs, which is a huge steal for $135 with a cooler included. As for the board, we're looking at the Gigabyte B650MD 3HP, and this one goes for $110. It's got 4 RAM slots, it supports RAM overclocking, it supports CPU overclocking, RAM tuning, and it will last you all the way up to 2025, which is around the supported time for AM5. The RAM, you can go with 16 GB DDR5 4800 MHz because I don't know the exact budget, how actually will it fit 32 gigs or not. So yeah, we'll just stay on the safe side with 32 gigs, with 16 gigs I mean, and yeah, 16 gigs is more than enough for gaming as of now. You will get the job done, you don't have anything to be worrying about. The SSD, we're looking at 512 GB and the 2 SSDs because they actually are doubled in price now compared to what we've seen last year. So 512 gigs is still seems to be a really decent space. The GPU, and you know what it is, the AMD RX 6700 XT, and this is the meta, this is the absolute best GPU that you can get for $320 right now. I would take it the extra mile and get it from AliExpress for $270. I wouldn't care if it's used or not, because you are getting huge potential out of this GPU for 1440p gaming, comparable to something like a RTX 4060. I usually stand behind the RTX 4060 as the best budget GPU, the best all-around GPU to get for sub $300. That's only if you're comparing it with this one. Actually, the 6700 XT is the absolute best, but it's not as popular as the 4060 because it's an older gen GPU, but that doesn't really take anything away from it. The case, we're looking at the Cooler Master Q300L because this is the cheap case. It's got really good ventilation, okay ventilation for a PC like that. And the power supply, we're looking at the Thermal Take, I believe 600 watt 80 plus gold power supply that will will power on the PC just fine. It will not consume that much power, so yeah, it will really get the job done. And that's been it. If you like the video, press on that like button. If you want to see more videos of that, can subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.